Hello and welcome. This is the penultimate session of the regular season of NOMI League. I'm Amy. I'm a member of NOMI and captain of the Destroyers. Passing it to you.
Yeah, I'm joining Amy here is Lucas or Navitas on the internet. And I don't actually live in New York, so I don't get to be part of this league, but I'm just joining here over the internet as a sort of guest commentator here for this week.
Absolutely. Yeah, Navitas has already commentated one of our games. And I'm a first timer here. So today we have an exciting lineup. There's going to be a battle over qualifying for one of the final spots in the top four in order to get to the finals.
Yeah, right now, coming into these final two games, the two teams we're going to be looking at is we have the Penguins and Team Yakumen. And coming into this game, the Penguins lead Team Yakumen by 22.6 points. So if Yakumen can gain those 22.6 points over these two hanchans over the Penguins, then they can actually bump them out for that Final Four spot. And then we'll also be following because Falcons aren't on this table right now, but they are currently in 5th place. So in the case where the Penguins and the Falcons both aren't able to, if they could, there could be a case where the Penguins and Falcons both end up below. The Penguins and Team Yakumen both end up below the Falcons, and then the Falcons squeak in and get that 4th spot. So that's what we're going to be playing for tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. The Falcons are probably watching with eagle eyes to see if the Opie Dopes or the Rinshan Kaibros can hit down those other two teams and do the dirty work for them. All right, looks like we're off to the races. So East One dealer appears to be.
Looks like it's Kevin from Team Yakumen.
Yeah, I think it's Kevin. So Kevin has a pair of the Chun, which is a Yaku High for him. So that's a good thing to have in your first hand.
Is that 7 Mondor? I can't quite make that out.
Yep, 7 Mondora. Kevin has one. The others look like they don't have it, but a lot of 8-9 Mon shapes that can accept it. Let's see, going around the table, Jason has a completed shape and some good filler. So it can be converting this into, pay a quick hand.
I'll see if he is interested in calling that pay if it does come out. Looks like they are still in the wall at the moment.
Kevin just cut a 6-pin from his pair, meaning that he might be thinking about a half flush.
It does have those two honor pairs in the Chun and the non, so could try to go Sozu
Yeah, and then
Honitsu here,
another
which could be
Sozu.
it could be a very
Very
strong
nice.
starting dealer hand here if this comes together.
Yeah, so he preemptively cuts the 7 mon before it gets too dangerous. Andre passes up the call. Chris improved his shape a bit. And Kevin is starting to call for his half flush. Ooh, Chris draws a Dora into that 6-8-9 shape. Very nice. Progresses his hand a lot. No one's hands are too close yet. I would say, yeah, everyone's about equal. No one's really pulling ahead. Although Kevin, with that call, advances his hand yet again into Ishanten.
So Kevin Ishanten, and I believe Chris is also
Oh, and
Ishanten
now
at the moment.
Tenpai with
Here we
the
go.
red dragon cut. Dealer half flush on 5,800 minimum. Although I don't really see an easy way to work any more value into this hand.
Now, about the only thing you could do at this point is, I suppose, if you were to Tsumo the South, you would get enough food to
Yeah.
increase that
As
up.
far Yeah, for sure. As far as his winning tiles, I think the 8 so are both um there's no more in the wall. And then for the non, we see one in Jason's hand, but Jason appears to be holding on to those honors for now. Lots of calls, a flurry of calls as people are trying to get their hands into Tenpai.
Yeah, Chris is also Tenpai now on 6-9 Mon.
Mm-hmm. Jason's starting to discard those honor tiles, so we'll see if that South comes out.
Yeah, it is obviously a dangerous tile against the 3 calls from dealer, but we'll see if it starts to get too attached to this hand and does decide to push it later.
Chris has the option to, oh yes, switch his weight and dodge dealing in to the Soju Honitsu. He senses the danger around the Soju tiles for sure.
And is actually still able to keep Tenpai at the same time, so now we
Yeah.
have 8 so South weight versus 5 8 so.
Andre still hanging on an Ishanten here, not wanting to take too much of a risk. Passes up the con on the 7 pin.
Yeah, also it does have that lone sort of 1 so that's sort of just stuck in the hand at the moment, which
Yeah,
looks
I
pretty
think he's
dangerous.
scared of discarding it. Especially as Kevin has now overflowed his first Soju tile, the 3 so right there. Oh, is Jason in trouble? No, he folds.
All right, here's an opportunity for Kevin to maybe switch the weight if he wants. Does pick up that 7 so. So could switch to a 6
And
9 so weight. And we do see that, and that's going to deal in now.
Yeah, Chris's expert, like very reasonable play there to hold on to the dangerous tiles and profit when Kevin changes up his weight.
So I believe that was just E-Store 1. So just 2,000 points, but does shut down that dealer hand there, which is pretty important. And so denies
Yeah,
Kevin that possible Honitsu win.
yeah, and also moves the dealer wrong. So definitely, like even though the bottom 2 teams might, have a very long shot at qualifying for the finals, they can still have a really big impact on the overall standings. All right, we are in East 2. Chris has a lot of good shapes, or like lots of middle towers in hand. Can definitely make something of that. Jason's hand is looking kind of, 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes, but some of them are bad. So need some good draws.
Does at least have door 2 if the hand does come together.
That's true, yeah. No one's hand is looking like incredibly fast. I think Andre is maybe looking in the best shape of everyone at the table so far.
And Kevin's going to be the first to
Kevin,
open up the hand here.
yeah.
Looking like just East only here, though. Maybe with perfect draws could be Chanta. Probably not really aiming for it too hard, though.
There's definitely a
Although it did
possibility.
throw 4 so actually maybe he is aiming for it.
But the 7-mon pair makes it harder. Chris's hand keeps improving, getting better shapes and better reception. And then Jason cuts the 1-mon to commit to the 2-mon pair because it's Shadora.
Yeah, the hand's still a bit from Tempai, but at least that form on draw does complete one of your blocks.
Ooh, Kevin has the opportunity to get even closer to Chanta. Or maybe just East Sanshoku, 789 Sanshoku.
Yeah, because the 3/7 mon is pretty hard to get away from to actually get the Chanta, but Sanshoku definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
There is a 7-so that might come out at some point from Jason, which could get called.
Andre's hand hasn't progressed too much. He appears to be shuffling around by discarding the West pair. And then Chris has hit Tenpai. Will he reach? Yes. Waiting on the 147 so. A good three-sided wait.
Yeah, and this is a nice hand to reach south and Adora as well. So, Mangan Sumo here.
I don't believe. Oh wait, yes, Andre is the dealer, so it is south. That is a Yahoo high. Looks like most players are folding.
Oh, Epot Sumo for Chris!
Oh,
Can they also hit the Ura? Doesn't get the Ura, but still a nice Mangan win here for Chris.
yeah. Richie south. Yeah, Richie Ipatsumo south Dora. Mangan.
All right, so nice
Flow is
start for Chris
strong.
here.
The flow is strong, yes. And he is now the dealer, so he can capitalize further on it. I see Adora in his hand. He just drew the first tile. Always good to remember that. Ooh,
Jason here does
Jason
start with
has,
the full
yeah,
the Anko of the Hatsu, and then also has the South pair as well.
that could be
Maybe
a,
you have like a lot of honors. Like maybe there's a chance this can add a Honitsu in as well. Although you don't, you're pretty much your hand is just all honors at this point. Here's gonna be a call.
okay. Kevin has an interesting hand. Lots of middle tiles and, some completed shapes, or yeah, two completed shapes. So Chris has good material for an Itsu in his hand. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, and draw the red 5. That's nice. Although he's still looking for a pair. Oh, and
Gonna give up on
decides
the
to,
Itsu.
yeah.
Yeah, holding that one so door, they're not willing to give that up.
Jason is getting closer to Honitsu with another Manju draw. Could definitely shift. Will he con? No.
You can see the hesitation. Did think about it there for a second.
Oh, and now the Haku pair. So he can definitely get Honitsu very easily. Kevin draws into his Kanchan. Very nice. And his hand is looking like Tanyao Dora 1. Chris is maybe holding a 4-cell, thinking that he can discard it when he reaches for a Suju trap on the
Ooh.
Dora 1-cell.
Okay, so we do see Jason draws the Dora, but not gonna shy away from the Sunny 2, just throws it right back.
I think that's the right decision.
Yeah. You don't really want to hold that too long, and the Honey 2 is the same value as the Dora pair.
Definitely. Yes, Chris has set the Suji trap, opting to keep that double hanchan, the Ryankan shape, 357 pin. And the
Yeah,
Haku
could.
comes out, pawned for Tenpai.
So now Tenpai on 8 mon.
There appears to be one in Kevin's hand, two in Andre's hand, and one in Chris's hand. So it is completely dead. Somebody will have to discard it in order for him to get it.
We could maybe
And
see a pawn of 6 mon if that ever came out, and then you would also get Toy Toy and the ability to switch your weight around.
that's a good point. I think it would be difficult with people smelling the Manzu Honitsu on the table. As you can see, Kevin drew out 3 mon and broke up his 7-so pair, perhaps not wanting to drop any Manzu.
Andre is Ishan 10 and is willing to at least push the 1 mon.
Oh, Andre is Tenpai, and I believe he's Dama on no Yaku Tenpai right now.
And not willing to take this Ricci here.
I think I can see why, because with a 6-pin, 7-pin, or 9-pin draw, he can switch to Pinfu.
Yeah,
And with a 4-mon draw, can switch to Tanya.
it is a pretty flexible Tenpai. A lot of improvements.
Yeah. Chris decides to reach on 6-pin Contran weight. And oh, the immediate deal in from Jason, who has, such a good Tenpai, you can't fault him for pushing that.
So it does get the Kanchan win there.
Yeah, so Richi Ipatsu Dora.
So this should just be 7,700 here and get another repeat here. So we have our first honba now, which is worth quite a bit more within the N League rules.
That's right.
Yeah, 1,500 rather than the more standard 300 that it typically is in ranked.
Yeah, Chris is keeping the momentum going. Let's see what his hand looks like here. Seeing some disconnected honors. A shape in Sozu, a couple shapes in Pinzu, another potential extension into Itsu in the Pinzu. Jason starting off with 2 red 5s, very nice, and a completed shape. Kevin shapes, some of them are not like, sorry, some blocks, some of them are not good shapes. And Andre with 4 pairs already. We'll see where he takes his hand.
Yeah, definitely probably more likely to call than Chitoy, especially when you have like the North Yaku High. Could maybe even
I
go for a
agree.
Honitsu.
Yeah, could be. Another Manzu Honitsu. Looks like the door is a 6-pin this time. And Kevin and Jason each have 1 in hand. Kevin's just floating, but he can easily use it, and Jason's already connected with the 8-pin. Kevin has to make a choice of whether to maintain the Dora or cut it early, and he chooses to keep it.
Yeah, it does have 4 pairs, so like you're basically 1 door draw away from like Chitoy door Ishan 10.
Yeah. Plus, there's not much else in this hand that inspires value. So I think it's wise to hang on and try to make use of it. Chris has now 4 of the 4, so and chooses to con right away.
You could have kept that around to maybe try to draw the 3-so, but just wants to immediately call the con now and get the redraw.
Con for flow, as they say. Yeah, now that
And it
2-so
works.
is extremely isolated.
Does get the 1-1 pair there. So is Ishan 10.
Interesting. Chooses to keep the 2-so rather than the slightly more efficient, 1-1-3-mon shape. Maybe
Perhaps
thinking that.
maybe keep like I can maybe it might be as a safe tile because you have the I think that's a con. Is
Yeah,
that kind of 4-so or 6-so? I don't remember.
it's the 4-so.
Okay, 4-so, yeah. So it is a bit of a decent safe tile.
I believe who is that? Kevin just pawned Dora and is looking very scary, although his hand is currently no Yakumen. Oh, Andre just wins with his north only, eating up the honba on the table and shutting down these scary looking hands.
Yeah, so we do go into South 4 here.
Now it's Jason's dealership. He has a pair of the East, although one is the Dora indicator. So if an East comes out, he will have to pawn it right away. Chris with a bunch of 8-9 shapes, so possible 7-8-9 Sanshoku, although his hand does need a little bit of work to bring that together. Kevin opting to keep the 6-9 pin shape, although it's not the most efficient, maybe because he sees the potential for 7-8-9 Sanshoku as well.
Chris is the first to drop the Dora here.
And it is not pawned, so sigh of relief.
See if Jason ends up cutting his as well or continues to try to hold it to pair it up.
Chris draws a red 5. That's very nice. He now has a choice of which of his blocks to cut and decides on the 1-mon. Yeah, I think keeping the 7-8-9 Sanchoku alive and choosing that over the Itsu.
A bit of an interesting choice there between the two. Does opt for the Sanshoku here.
Yeah, I think the Itsu would have maybe been easier to get. But yeah, it's still pretty early on. The hand's quite flexible. Andre's hand looking like painful shapes. Holding on to that south, that floating south. Not willing to part with it just yet.
Chris actually
or just go for it.
gives up the Sanshoku here. Draws the 3-pin to complete the Pinzu shape. And opts to actually break the 8-9 pin here.
Yeah. Pairs up the 9 pin and finishes dropping the 8-9 shape. Jason contemplating calling. Oh, calls the Yakumen. and is now Otozuke, waiting for that east to come out. Kevin makes an excellent draw, filling in his 6-8 hanchan in a soju. Is now, let's see, I believe 1 away from Tenpai, if he gets the right draw. Still like 2.5 or 1.5 rows in, and a lot of people holding on to the south, probably scared that it's dangerous at this point.
Yeah, I imagine Jason would pretty comfortably push it at if they reach Tenpai, but holding for now. Probably part of it. Well, here is Tenpai. So,
No, it's not
no, that
Tenpai.
wasn't Tenpai. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a better shape, Ryamen. Oh, an improvement for Andre. He decides to drop the south.
Yeah, so now with it being twice cut, it is pretty safe at this
And
point.
Jason cheese for Tenpai and also drops the south. So Otozuke on the east. If he draws a 7, then that would be pretty sad. He would be, you know, Furuten. But lucky for him, both 7s are held in hand by other players, so no danger of accidental Furuten. Andre has a choice here between which shape to cut from. His hand is very strong, guaranteed Ryanmen weight when he gets to Tenpai, and very good chance of Pinfu as well. Although no other Dora, so. Chris's hand hasn't advanced in a bit, but he is shifting the shapes around. Sadly, that's 6-8, so we'll probably not fill in because of the 2 7s being held by Jason.
Kevin has a really wide Ishan 10 here at the moment with this like Kutsuki that also has like a possible Nobuton to draw into a Manzuriyamen. There's just a lot of good draws here.
Could
Oh,
even.
East though for Kevin.
Oh
And this like
no!
at this point like there's only so many hands that Jason could have. So like Otozuka East is like if we look at the Yakuhai, like Chun, Haku, Hatsu all dead. Yeah. Just has to throw the
Yeah,
8-so here.
Kevin senses the danger. Giving up his beautiful, Dora Dora wide Ishan 10, but rightly so, because it would have dealt in.
City to like K10 East Tonki, but that's about what Kevin's stuck trying to do here.
Yeah, I was going to say before he had the chance of, a beautiful Itsu Pinfu Dora Dora if he drew back the 9 so that he's thrown 2 of in the first row. But yeah, looks like it's, barring an East Hanki, Kevin will probably not be getting into Tenpai this hand.
So here's a Tenpai for Andre.
And he's deciding
Oh, open Richi,
to
here we go.
open Richi.
Our first open Richi on a Sanmin-chan
Furuten
here.
at that because of the 9 pin in the first row for him.
Also 3-pin somehow. wait, so 3-pin and 9-pin. This is double for E10.
Oh yeah, 3 pin as well. How did this happen?
Yeah, don't quite know.
I might as well open Richi then. It's quite funny though because everyone at the table can plainly see the Furuten. So they're free to push their hands forward. As long as it doesn't involve dropping a 3-6-9 pin.
Well, you still can. You can even throw that because it's Riiten.
Oh, you're right. Kevin reaches Tenpai on okay. He is also open Richi, but unfortunately will deal in as soon as he discards this east. So this
Yeah,
open Richi
could have
will
actually
not go through.
Tonki'd the East.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah. That they also incorrectly showed their weight. They have to show that. They have to show
Yeah,
the 4, 5, 6 as well.
yeah, because it's 369. Wait, you're right. 3689. So even if the open reachy went through, it would have been well, it depends on if it's his first incorrect open reachy, because everyone does get one free pass, but it would have been a chombo, or I don't remember if it's a chombo or a dead hand, but that open reachy would not have been valid because of incorrectly showing the weight. All right, Jason is dealer again. He has a completed 2-3-4 block, 2 pairs. Oh yeah, Jason has actually Dora pair, which is very nice. Dora being the 9-mon.
It doesn't look to have a way to open the hand at the moment, so probably just gonna have to try to go for a Ricci here, unless they do like pair up that tune or something. But at this point, the tune is dead.
Yeah, so probably going to be some sort of Ricci Dora type hand. Andre has a bunch of floating honors. Cut the 5 so early on, looking maybe at some sort of chanta, or just like hedging his bets a bit.
It does got a nice 2-pin to fill that Kanchan for Andre.
Yeah, that's definitely a big help. Chris has a lot of middle tiles, can easily work his hand into some sort of tanyao. I think I didn't touch on Kevin's hand, but it has, a couple of Ryangmen shapes. Probably a Tanya type hand, although I'm sure he would be happy to accept 9 Mandora as well. Chris advances his hand, completing his 2-3-4 Manju shape. Jason could open for Itsu Dora Dora, the Itsu being in the Pinzu.
He is actually already 2 away from that, so definite possibility.
Yeah, especially if Chris ends up dropping one of his 2-pin there.
You're definitely looking for a way to try to open up a hand when you start with Dora 2. It is actually already Ishan 10 for that Itsu now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Chris's tenpai. It would be Shampon, but this 5-pin discard sets the sushi trap on both sides. Oh, and Jason immediately deals in with the 8-pin he just drew, falling for the sushi trap. So, Richi Tanyao Ipatsu.
With also, I believe, 1 honba.
Yes, honba 1. I think they miscalculated that score, because it looks like he only paid 2,600 when that can't be right.
It should have been 65, right? I didn't quite see what they
Or
exchanged.
unless I might have misread the points being exchanged.
Or 67 rather.
Yeah. Maybe I misread it. I definitely saw a 5,000 point stick on the table, and I thought there was some change given. But anyway, moving on. So now Kevin is dealer. He has a pair of the Chun, which is helpful for a quick hand. No Dora in his hand at the moment, but can easily accept it with the 3-man that he has. Andre has a lot of Tanya tiles, 4 pairs as well. Chris has a pretty good hand, needs another shape, so I don't know if I would have cut the 3 and 7 so early. But other than that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 3 shantan. And Jason looking really good with lots of Tanya tiles and 2 red 5s.
There's a door 2-mon as well. Can draw something to connect up to that. Could make it Tanya door 3.
Yeah, my money is on Jason this hand. I think he can really easily call his way into a quick and valuable hand. Although he might need to drop the door here. Nope, decides to first drop the 8 cell. He could get 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku, in which case that would make up for the value lost by dropping the Dora.
Yeah, you can palm 3-pin here into a pretty nice tempai for at least 3 Hans, but with
Yeah, I think
Mangan on
that,
the Takame.
yeah. I think that I can understand wanting to keep the Dora in hand, but this might be a case where the hand doesn't really need it.
Yeah, the Yishanten actually could have been tempai right there already, I think.
I think so, yes. Andre draws yet another pair for 5 total pairs. Ishanten for Chitoi Tanya. He'll probably be looking very much to draw the Dora, and he's committing to the Chitoi by keeping that Haku that he hasn't seen yet in the discard. Chris cons once again. I didn't see what tile he conned. Do you remember?
It's a Tuso. Oh, he conned the 9-mon.
Oh, the 9-9. Okay.
And
The
Tuso
new
door
Dora
here.
is the Tuso, which makes Andre extremely happy, as he has now Chitoi Dora 2. Oh, and he reaches waiting on the Haku, which Kevin has 1 of floating in his hand, so.
Ichi Chitoi door 2 here. Quite a strong hand from Andre.
Mangan minimum. Hatman on sumo. Kevin first starting with the East, which is a 100% safe tile. Jason's 1 so cut was not totally safe, but seeing as his hand is so middle tile focused, everything in his hand looks really scary right now.
Yeah, and it does, of course, still have a strong Yishanten. If they can get into tempai, I'm sure he would be looking to chase here, or even just call for an open hand. But hasn't had the chance yet.
Although it will feel really scary dropping that Dora. He's tempai now, waiting on the 6-9 mon 3-pin if he dares to drop Dora into Andre's Ricci. It looks really scary given that Andre dropped the 4-mon right before Ricci. Made slightly better by the fact that his first discard is the 1-mon, but again, since the 2-mon is the Dora, it's a tough sell. Oh, Jason's contemplating, he's hesitating, and he decides to cut 6-mon.
I'm not sure
Bit of a
6-mon's even
Mawachi.
that safe either. I think if you're gonna
Yeah,
push something, just push the Dora. It's like 6-mon looks
I,
just as likely to deal in as Dora to me.
yeah, I think the 6-mon was kind of a non-committal move, although it may pay off because he now reaches a different tempai, waiting on the 1-4 mon for Richi Pinfu Dora Dora. Dora. Yeah, Richi Pinfu Dora Sen. So 2 Mongon minimum hands at the table today, squaring off each other, against each other. A Haku Tonki versus a 1/4 Mon Ramen. Let's see how good this 1/4 Mon Ramen is. We see 1, 2, 3 of the 4 Mon in the discards or in people's hands. And 1, 2, just 2 of the 1 Mon. So I think there's 3 tiles left. That's actually pretty good for
Chris
this
is
late.
also Tenpa here, but is Yakulis Dama at the moment for 3-pin.
Yeah, which is quite a precarious situation to be in against these TVGs. Yeah, still 3 1/4 Mon in the wall, as well as 2 Haku.
Oh, here we go. Waiting one turn for the open Richi here. Chasing with the 3-pin wait.
Now Kevin is the odd one out. Oh my. Kevin is actually getting close to Tenpai, but I don't.
Oh, there's the 4-mon though, and that's the Takame for at least a Hanimon here.
Oh, hits.
And flips
Ura.
Dora 2, this is Baimon. Oh no.
Oh
Ow.
no.
Ura 2 for the Baimon from Jason. And this is gonna really change up the standings here.
Yeah, Emperor Penguins are shooting up that dealer Baimon, 24,000 points to win.
I don't believe they were dealer unless it already switched over.
Sorry. We already switched over. My bad. But still, 16,000 points plus the honba is. Wait, there's no honba? I don't know. I've lost the thread. 16,000 points is plenty. That Baimon like rattled my brains.
Yeah, that was a huge win there from Jason. Shoots themselves all the way back up to 30,000 here now. They were dropped. They were down at 4th before that hand, but that's a huge swing in the standings here.
In one fell swoop, shoots up to 2nd place. Oh no, first place.
Actually, just 1st place right now. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, hitting it straight off on what used to be 1st place. Yeah. Kevin with an Onko of the 4-pin. Lots of pairs and Onko in his hand. Jason as well with an Onko of the 7-pin. So between the 2 of them, it's going to be kind of hard to make use of the 9-pin Dora since so many of the 7 and 8s are in their hand. Andre currently holding on to a single floating 9-pin Dora, as well as a floating 5-mon, red 5-mon. So
we might actually see Andre just cut the door right here, though. Although, no, he's going to hold it for now. Starts with the 6-pin.
Chris with yet another potential Itsu in his hand. Although he seems to have been leaning away from it in the previous hands we've seen. Chris advancing his hand again, and a very nice Ishanten now.
Nice draw for Kevin as well. The sort of, although I guess you didn't really need another pair, so maybe that 5-pin's not terribly useful. But definitely will take it.
Yeah, I think it could just potentially lock in Tanya for him. But yeah, it's not the most useful because of the overlap in shapes. Some awkward hands.
Okay, another
Particularly,
pair for Kevin.
oh,
Now maybe you could drop 3-pin, 5-pin. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna see.
yeah,
So just
yeah.
lock that Anko.
Could see, you know, Sanonko from Coven. Oh, Chris draws the ideal tile for Ricci. I think we're still in East Round. Are we?
This should be south.
Okay, yeah. So Ricci Pinfu Itsu.
I believe it's south too.
Okay. The fact that I can't see the dealer indicator is making me lose my sense of where we are in the game. Andre folding with the 2-pin. Oh, and the Epop Sumo. Sadly, the lower value out, but still plenty. Ricci Epop Sumo Pinfu.
All right, so on to south 3. Here we go. The Chris dealer here.
The Dora is the 9-mon. The standings are that Jason is still in first. Oh, sorry, no. Chris is now in first, but Jason close behind. So Chris will be trying to extend his lead. Although in the overall ranking, the Opie Dopes are quite a ways behind qualifying for the finals. There is still a chance if they hit the teams above them down, like, I don't know, it would have to be a lot. I think they're down, let's check. There's an outside chance of them slotting into fourth overall.
Oh, was that the Upi Dopes? Is that the team?
Yes, the OP
Yeah.
Dopes are about 250 points out from, oh, sorry. They're 250 points out from Team Yakumen.
They're like 280 points out from 4th place.
Yeah, so it would take some massive, I think they would need to force they would have to hit the Emperor Penguins down by about 140 points over the course of the night, which, you know, is certainly possible, but would be quite a feat. It would definitely be a big run up, which we're not seeing just yet. 35,000 points is a modest first place at the moment, but it's still possible.
We do have a really nice Ishan 10 here for Andre at the moment. It's already Kutsuki Ishan 10. Does have that one red 5, so can call the Chun into Tempai if they want, but would only be a 2-han hand at that point.
You could easily draw 9-mon in and wait for the 6-9-mon to increase the value of their hand all the way up to a potential Mangan, though. Kevin appears to be moving towards a half flush, discarded all of the non-Pinzu from his hand.
Here's a Tempai draw for Andre, but it's not really the Tempai he wanted. Actually, just gonna throw it right back.
Yeah, I
Definitely need to
agree with
keep that
that.
3-pin.
Jason's hand a little bit awkward. He may not be able to incorporate all the Dora that he wants to. We'll see what he chooses to discard here. Taking a little bit of time to think about it.
Does Op decide to break that Pinzu Penchant in the end?
Yeah, Jason's in a position where he is not, too far off from first, but since he'll be last dealer, um, taking last dealer when with a very slim margin is also feels pretty precarious because of the fact that we don't have a Garayami on.
Yeah, Andre just lets that tune pass. Doesn't
Yeah,
want to take this. Tuhan Tenpai is really looking for a Ricci here, especially now that they picked up the 7-mon and can possibly like get a Ricci either waiting or on a door draw.
Kevin starts moving for his half flush. Potential Honitsu Itsu for Kevin. Chris's hand is the 5-mon drop. I don't remember why that happened.
Okay, well here's a Tenpai and decides to just go for normal Ricci. It was probably just debating whether or not I wanted to Ricci open or
I think he
not.
was
But
also debating whether he wanted to wait for the Sanshoku. Yeah, as well as like whether or not to open Ricci. So this is Ricci Dora 1, but good wait. Even if Jason gets second, I think he would be happy with that because right now Team Yakumen is in fourth place. So Emperor Penguins can still like maintain their position, maybe get a few points up while making sure that Team Yakumen, their main concern, is kept below them.
can't quite see what Jason drew here. Is debating about how much they want to push their hand. They do have a nice Ishan 10. Looks like they drew 3, so that's not quite Tenpai.
Yeah, we'll
All
see if
this
Jason opts to be aggressive and try to find more points, or if he realizes that he doesn't necessarily need to win here.
actually does deal in on the 3
Unfortunately,
so here.
yeah, yeah.
No Uros or just the Ricci Door 1.
I was wondering if Jason would opt to be a bit more passive here, given that the Penguins are, in a stronger position than Team Yakumen right now.
All right, so all last, here we go. Jason is the dealer here.
Jason has the opportunity to, once again, kind of like, the I think it does make it a little tricky that Team Yakumen is within a manga sumo of them, so they might not be able to afford to be too passive anymore.
Well, it looks like Jason disagrees because the first discard actually breaks apart a pair. So unless just
You're
didn't
right.
see that they had that pair, it seems like they're not too interested. Perhaps just a mistake. Didn't see it while they were sorting their hand. Otherwise, I don't know why you'd throw north pair first.
Kevin looking like he has some pretty strong shapes. and possible Ipeiko, and possible 6, 7, 8 Sensoku is kind of awkward to move into. But, Andre, lots of Manzu, but the hand isn't really set up for like Manju Chunitsu or anything like that. So probably just moving towards a normal hand. Chris also has a possible Ipeiko in hand, very strong shapes, already Ishan can.
Yeah, and can even take a Dama Tenpai if they choose to just try to secure their first.
Kevin opting to break up the 7-9 mon after drawing a red 5 pin. Perhaps aiming for Hanyao, Dora Dora, potential Ipeiko. Oh, Chris breaks up their potential Ipeiko. That's a very interesting decision.
Sacrifices a bit of efficiency there because they didn't want to drop the Dora. I mean, like, this does have the opportunity to be like Sanshoku Dora with the perfect, like, 5-pin draw, but you do lose the 8-pin Ipeiko.
Yeah, I think we have seen some players hold on to or Dora and kind of value it above efficiency in some places.
Okay, well, what do
Again,
they do with the
another
3-so
opportunity.
draw? Like, here's Dora is just by far the most efficient discard. But yeah,
Yeah,
just refuses to discard it. I'm not like I don't like this efficiency, especially when you're in first place and just like one Han secures the first with a pretty big bonus for first place with these rules, with the Oka.
yeah, I can understand the desire to hold on to Dora, maybe convert your hand into like, oh, the dream of Sanshoku Tanya Dora. But yes, it does slow things down a significant amount to force it into the hand.
Yeah, Chris actually just breaking the 9-pin pair here.
I think he really wants the 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku incorporating the Dora. And Jason Tenpai, Richi Pinfu, potential Dora. Sorry, Richi Pinfu Dora already, a potential another Dora if he draws or runs on that side. Kevin, contemplating what to do. This card's a 9-pin that's safe. Jason is actually, sorry, not Jason. Andre is moving ever closer to Honitsu, but we'll see if he stops in his tracks now that there's a Richu on the board. Although as the last place team with arguably nothing to lose, I could really see it going either way. Oh,
Chris
and the
picks up another Dora.
dream. He draws that other Dora. I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
Here we go, Ricci from Andre.
so there's
Looks
3 of the 4 7-pin left.
Yeah, this
Andre,
is just 8-mon Kanchan. This is a huge hand though. This is Ricci, Menhon, Itsu. 6 Han? Yeah, 6 Han.
I believe, yes, it's just 8-mon Tanki. Yeah, Richi, Menhon, Itsu. I think that's.
Oh, and here we go.
Wow.
Chase Ricci from Chris with the 5-mon, and it does pass.
I mean, he drew a third Dora. This is a huge Sap 4 shootout here.
So this one is Ricci Tanya Dora 3.
Possible, yeah. Michitanya of Dorothy. Oh my. All these dangerous tiles coming out. It takes some balls. I don't think I would have been able to throw Phasmon into that.
See if it pays off. And it does pay off because there's the
Oh.
7mon. See if there's any as well. And there's an as well. So this is a Hanimon for Chris to just increase their score even more. I guess holding the door did work out for Chris in the end as they just drew them all themselves. And
Andre
ends the game
showing
with
his
a
Senpai
Menton
satisfied.
Dora of Yom.
Oh my gosh. Super exciting South 4. Yeah. I mean, those points could make the difference for the Opie dopes if they keep running it up.
Yeah, that is something to consider. Is like like imagining playing Chris's hand with the goal of just getting a first. But if your goal isn't just a first, but like a gigantic first, then maybe the way he played the hand makes some sense. Tries to get the Hanimon.
Yeah, I can definitely understand why he played it. I think I sometimes tend to be uh, less of a dreamer, but it clearly paid off for Chris, and that's what his team is going to need in order to move into fourth place and have a shot at the final. They're checking the wall now for Andre's winning tiles.
Does seem like there were 3 in the wall. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's why they're checking. There's quite a few in the wall. All right, so we saw some explosive hands this hanchan, and with Chris from the Opie Dopes catapulting his team up quite a few points. So we'll be back right after the break to see how it pans out. Will the Penguins be able to hold on to the fourth place? Will the Opie Dopes, repeat their performance and then some to threaten for that position? Or will Yakumen be able to clinch the place from the Opie Dopes, or sorry, from the Penguins? Or will the Rinshan Kaibros throw a wrench in all the works?
Yeah, see you after the break.
By the way, the Yakumen are about 63-ish points. 64-ish. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think we're back here for the second game of the hanchan here, and this is going to be the final one for this session for these teams. So still fighting for that fourth spot. After that game, the Penguins do currently hold that spot over the Falcons. And they lead by 18.1. So looking for a top two for the Penguins, and they should be safe here. And then we do still have Yakumen still trying to make it in, and they really need a first place. And then preferably with the Penguins getting a bottom two spot. And looks like our players are about ready to go here, so we should be underway shortly.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely still a lot of movement possible. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, the Yakumen are about 64 points under the Penguins, so still very doable to move into the final table if they take a healthy first or if the Penguins fall significantly.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of stream difficulty in between games, but everything should be up and running now, and we should be starting shortly here.
Yeah, sorry for the hiccup, those who were following along earlier. But everyone, get ready. And looks like we're off to the races with Jason as first dealer. And the Penguins, once again, looking to finish with top two, first or second, with positive points, or they can accept a small amount of negative points.
It really needs
So
just a top two to be safe. Is
yeah,
what they need to aim for. Top two, they make it. Bottom two, they probably don't, unless it's a very, very small third.
Jason having 3 completed blocks in his hand, so that's a very good starting hand for him. Chris also some pretty decent shapes as well as a completed 2-3-4 mon. Andre with a bunch of disconnected tiles and some bad shapes, so might be looking for some sort of chanta or generally outside hand. Kevin with 2 red 5s already in hand. Um, some shapes, some hanchan that he might need to either get rid of or fill in. But yeah, definitely Jason looking like the strongest hand at the table, followed by Chris. The Dora is the red dragon, which none of the players currently hold, so all 4 are in the wall. Oh, sorry. Andre has 1 of the red dragon.
It looks to be a bit of a slower first hand here. Jason's hand, probably the closest to Tempai here. Everyone else's hand still looks pretty far away.
Jason is in Ishanten. And now a potentially wider Ishanten if he chooses to drop the 6 mon. Although that's quite interesting. I think keeping this 7 pin there might have been good because you could get a 5-6-7 Senshoku with the right draws. But the hand is still very strong. Still 1 away from Tenpai.
Yeah, the 7 pin, keeping the 7 pin would have been a wider Ishanten because you're like Kutsuki Ishanten here, and the 7 pin would have given you that strong 4, 5, 6, 7 pin shape. But you do still also have the same shape in Sozu here, so
Yeah.
very wide. But it actually is Chris who gets Tempai here first, reaching on. Looks like he. Where's that draw?
2, 5, 9. Yeah, 2, 5 mon, 9 pin, and Totsu. Wait.
Yep. For looks like Richidor 1.
Let's see how everyone reacts to this early row one Rishi. Oh, Jason hits Tenpai and is debating whether to chase. There's very little information on the table right now, so. And he does. Richi Pingfu for Jason. Waiting on the 6-9 cell. I think because I believe Kevin has dropped 2-9 cell in the first row, as well as Andre holding some of the 6-9 cell, that looks like Jason's weight might be mostly dead. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think there's 2 tiles left in the wall.
You're gonna be a difficult one to win here.
Particularly as it looks like Andre is hard folding. His hand is very far, so he's going to definitely keep up the strong defense.
Seems like Kevin's maybe thinking about fighting here. Cuts the 6-mon, which was that Gembutsu? I can't quite make out the discards.
Yes, that was the tile that Jason reached on. So that is 100% safe. As far as how many tiles are left in Chris's Entotsu weight, I think there's one 9-pin. Oh no, sorry, no 9-pin left. 2-mon. I don't believe I see any. So there's 1 2-mon left. And I think there are actually. Oh, there it is. So Chris wins Richidora and Iura? No. So Richidora with an Anko and an open. That would be scored as an open triplet. So
You can score that as a closed triplet on the 2-mon win.
oh yes, you could score it as a you completed a 3-4.
Yeah, it's still not enough to make a difference, but
yeah, it's not enough. So yeah. Okay, moving into East 1 repeat 1. Chris has been winning a fair number of repeats tonight. So during the break, Navitas and I were looking at the scores, and because the Falcons are not at the table tonight and have finished all their games, as well as because they are sitting at about -9 points cumulatively, the Opie Dopes will need to make up around 200 points to surpass the Falcons, as well as hitting down the Penguins in order to move into the final table. So in short, they need to win a 200-point first here, which, while possible, is certainly a tall order.
Well, we do have a chance for Team Yakumen to get on the board here with a pretty nice Honitsu hand here from Kevin. It's already been able to call the Chun. And has a pretty nice Ishan 10 here.
Yeah, honestly, for early Honitsu, it's very flexible. As well as the north being pretty easy to call.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't Ishan. I thought that Hatsu was a north in disguise. So
yeah.
Yeah, now is Ishan 10.
Yeah, could call any of the, pawn any of the, oh, there it is for tenpai.
One mon
One
north wait
mon north.
here.
Everyone else not able to match Kevin's speed. Chris trying to catch up, although he's still Ishanten, but Tanya, looks like Tanya Dora won. Jason's hand looks nice, but is little slower with a couple hanchan shapes still needing to be filled in.
Oh, and there's the one mon that comes out from Andre. It does deal in. Not quite enough foo, so that is just going to be 39. But nice win here for Team Yakumen.
Certainly. The Yakumen are going to be happy about that. They will most likely need to take first place here in order to move on to the final table. Now Andre is dealer, seeing some honors, some good shapes, or decent shapes in Soju. The Dora is the 9-mon, which they don't have any of, but can accept.
Haven't had the chance to call the tune there on the first discard, but decides to let the first one go. Gonna keep the hand closed for now.
You may see that second tune. Nope, not just yet. Don't see any 9-mon out yet. And it may be difficult for everybody except Kevin to use. Kevin throws in his 5-7-mon Kanchan. Jason has 2 red 5s, but quite a few Kanchan shapes, so his hand is a little bit awkward, but very callable for Tanya if he pairs something up. Oh, Kevin throws in another Kanchan. Wow. His draws are on fire.
Getting some nice draws here for sure. Let's see if what happens if we do see Chris drop that tune at some point. Although
Chris is now Ishanten.
Yeah.
Going to be a NOMI. Kevin could take this tenpai for NOMI, decides to Dama for now, possibly seeking a better weight or, shifting his hand around. Will he take the tune? Yes. Now he has a choice of Tonki. Decides to take the 6, so Tonki for now. Jason draws another 4-mon. His hand could work its way to 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku. Chris is shifting around his Ishanten. Now Kevin has the chance for a better weight, taking the 4-7 man weight, of which comes out immediately from Jason, who drew that extra 4 man the turn before. For Chun Nomi.
Is I believe enough to put Kevin or Team Yakumen into first here at the moment. Or maybe they were already in first.
So
Either way,
Kevin
we do
shifts.
go on to Kevin's dealership here in South 4 or East 4 here.
Yeah, just like that. The hanchan is almost halfway over. Kevin would certainly try to be capitalizing on this dealership. Opening with a decent starting hand. He has a completed 1-2-3 man shape. As well as, some other, like he already has a pair and then another Yakumen. So not too shabby. Jason with a pair of the tune as well as the Sha. But it's not looking at too much value unless you can draw some red 5s or Dora. Chris with an Anko of the 2-pin, and generally kind of a pair and triplet heavy hand at the moment with 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs or
Yeah, maybe could look to go to Toy with that hand depending on how it plays out.
Definitely. Yeah, possible Toy Tanya. As far as the Dora, Andre has 2 of them and looking at strong shapes as well as a floating red 5 man.
I did see Chris had a chance to call the Tuso, but it's going to keep the hand closed for now.
I think Andre may be at a crossroads between Tanya or Chitoy and decides to go for a more callable route. Andre continues drawing pairs, maybe regretting not keeping that 1-pin pair because he would have been 10 type with Chitoy, but it's still a very flexible hand. Kevin hasn't made too much
10
progress.
here.
Yep.
Just possibly Ricci Dora 2 here if you can find that Forso Dora.
Chris is handed a tricky one to advance since being more of a triplet based rather than run based hand makes the acceptance smaller. Shun comes out, Jason calls it, and decides to drop the Sha pair. Maybe balancing safety and speed here.
Chris picks up a Forso Dora there. So I think, is there 1 Forso left here for Kevin's weight?
Chris is Ishan 10 for Tanya Dora 1. And can drop the 5-pin here for the widest Ishan 10, but decides to lock in the 2-3 Yakumen. Interesting. Maybe keeping the door open for Ipeiko of the 4-5-6 pin.
Yeah, the 5-pin doesn't help too much, though. I think you probably could have just kept the 3-mon around.
Yeah, it is a less efficient move. Jason Tenpai now for the 2-5 pin, so Chris is in danger if he decides to drop that floating 5 pin. But in the meantime, he holds the majority of Jason's weight. Andre picks up the 5 pin, the red 5 pin for, I believe that's Tenpai on the 5. So is that Tenpai? I can't tell because he's covering part of his hand. Oh, Chris had a choice of which shape to cut here. Decides to cut to 2-3 Mon to lock in Tanya. Okay, Andre is not Tenpai. Yeah. And Kevin deals into Jason's Chun Nomi.
Yeah, so a bunch of cheap hands this game so far, and already onto the south round.
Cheap hands are quite good for the Emperor Penguins. Since everybody but them needs probably a first or more, like a very strong first to move into the spot in the final table.
Well, Jason is going to need to pick up some more points at some point here. If they do end in third place, it needs to be, I believe, a 23,000 point third.
He does start off with a pair of the South, which will help him secure a quick win. Everyone's so close, well within a Mankansumo, so it's anyone's game at this point still in South 1. Jason picking up the 2 completed blocks of 1, 2, 3.
Andre picks up an Akador to add some value to this hand and has a quick Ishan 10. 7-so draw here for Pinfo would be perfect.
I feel like I keep seeing the reds at the edge of Andre's hand. Okay, now he incorporates it.
It looks to be a fast round here. I believe Kevin is actually Dama Tempai here on 7-pin. Oh, Ricci. Sorry, I didn't see the Ricci.
Oh, wow. Super early Ricci for Kevin.
Yeah, so Door Tonki Ricci here. Or Penchon Ricci, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. He opts not to open Ricci, given that there's plenty of value already for Nidora.
This will be Ricci Door 3 if it does win.
Persist folding out with the Chun. Jason thinking about that red 5, but he wouldn't have a Yaku if he were to cheat it. I think. It feels like Jason is Mawashi, or kind of, pushing like slightly dangerous tide. Oh wow, that 4 pin was definitely a push rather than discarding the 8-mon Genbutsu. But
And
the Opie dokes.
I suppose the door is Suji trapped at this point, but I don't think that's going to matter too much here.
Yeah, I don't think people are going to trust Suji trap on Adora. But yeah, I was going to say, the Opie dopes don't really have much to lose in terms of their standing. So
Right.
I can understand.
We might even see Chris actually just go ahead and discard the door if they do draw it at this point.
Yeah, it really doesn't fit into his hand at all. And Chris might just be thinking about that Chitoy chase or even the far off Siwanko chance.
Jason trying to figure out if they can still push this hand. Just has to go for a 1-1.
The Forso is Nakasuji. Chris pushes it.
Andre
The
with
7-pin.
quite a wide Ishan 10 here with
Yeah.
a pretty nice Pinzu shape.
There's only one 7-pin left in the wall, so we'll
Could
see
call this
if
for Tempai if Andre wants to push 6 so, but doesn't.
I'm just playing quite a disciplined game for a team so far down in last place. So maybe just not wanting to play too crazy and too far off from his typical style.
Okay, well, didn't want to call the 5-pin, but does call the 3-pin here.
Yeah, so maybe I have to eat my words about the discipline. It's like they can hear us.
Yeah, change their mind here. So it does take the 2-5 so, and it is a Gambutsu weight. This is just Tanya Dora 1.
Jason is continuing to push, and it pays off when he was able to shut down both Coven and Andre with a cheap Tanya Dora one,
It's Sumo as well,
as well as
so right
yeah,
where did they open? I think it was close, right?
yeah. Well, he definitely gets to maintain his dealership and uh, improve the chances that the Emperor Penguins keep their spot in the final table. Starting out with an East pair and I believe two Dora, as well as an Anko of the Forso. So quite a good starting hand. Looking around the table, Kevin has quite a few disconnected tiles and some yamen shapes. Chris has a couple penchant and a pair, but has some ways to go. Needs some good draws to uh, advance the hand. Andre has a red 5 and good middle tiles to stick to. But I believe, yeah, Jason's hand looks by far the strongest here.
And if Jason is able to win this hand, he'd definitely put his team in a really good position here. Could almost just defend the rest of the way.
Yeah, especially if he's able to keep both of those Dora in hand, or even draw another one. Chris has the little bit awkward situation of a 5 so 8 so, which are both Dora and not connected at all. So his hand is kind of awkward. I don't know if he'll be able to keep everything in it. Kevin completes his T3 for Manju sheep, and advancing pretty nicely toward a Pinfu. I believe he is Ishanten. Jason's hand, which was so strong at the beginning, has unfortunately not advanced in the last few draws.
It kind of stalled out a little bit here. Haven't seen any of those. Oh, I guess there's one east out, but still one east remaining.
Jason must have passed that first east then, since he had them since the high pie.
Yeah, I didn't see when that got discarded, so I decided not to call, and now might be stuck waiting for the final one.
You see Andre about to discard Dora and then at the last second change his mind and hold on to it. His hand, he might be trying to convert it into Chitoy in order to use that Dora. Otherwise, it really doesn't fit in too easily. Oh, and as I say that,
there you go.
He draws the 7-so that connects to it. So he could discard the Norse now and work towards a potential callable Tanya hand. Heaven is actually Tenpai, but chooses to Dama, perhaps wanting to shift things toward a 1-2-3 or 2-3-4 Sanshoku. I don't know. Or yeah, or even pick up a Dora. This is sort of borderline for me. Because on the one hand, I can understand wanting to build more value. On the other, I definitely think taking the deal away from Jason, your direct opponent, and reaching would be a strong choice. And now Jason actually open reaches. Oh my goodness, when did this turn into Menhon? Dora Dora.
Yeah, quite the open reachy here. Doesn't really seem necessary, but I guess making maybe a possibly unnecessarily large play here. This is double reach Menhon Dora Dora. So if he sumos, I think it's Baimon, but I don't know if you need to go this far. You could just take a pretty nice Dama here.
Yeah, I definitely think Dama would have been sufficient. Maybe Jason is even thinking ahead towards the finals, where I believe scores might not be reset. And so trying to get his, thinking the long game and trying to strengthen his team position in the finals.
Yeah, but this weight could even have been changed around to possibly wait on something other than just 7-so.
Yeah. Now Chris is, emboldened by the open Richi to continue shifting his hand towards a Shinitsu. So yeah, I think one of the downsides of open Richi is that it doesn't really scare people off the way that regular Richi does. Usually you call Richi to slow your opponents down, and you can see in this case that open Richi doesn't have that benefit. I think it is Andre deciding what to cut. He is moving toward a Chitoy with 5 pairs in hand now. But yeah, Andre's kind of in a tough spot because he knows he can't discard that 7, the 7-so. But his Chitoy gets ever more expensive. Kevin had the option to Karageri Richi here, pretending that he just drew himself into Penpai by discarding the 3-so already in his hand.
I don't think that really is something you'd want to do though, because it Just sort of tells that your weight's right around the 3-so, which it is.
Oh,
So actually
now in
switches
no
to...
Yaku Tenpai?
That's an odd play.
That was very odd, as the 3-so doesn't look that dangerous. Um, I'm not really sure what that was about, because now he gave up the Sanshoku shift. That 6-so just passed. I believe Jason is drawing dead because both of his the remaining 7-so are in other players' hands. So it's really just, for us commentators and spectators who know everything, it's just seeing how people
Oh,
react
wait,
to this
what's that
situation.
tile that Chris just drew? Is that a
5 mon.
5-mon?
He just drew a 5 mon.
Then I believe that's Tempai here. You can take 1 mon,
Yes.
6 mon wait, I think is... Or you could also wait on 7 mon.
I cannot analyze Chinitsu.
Yeah, it's either 1 mon... I think it is kind of hard to see with the make out all the tiles. See what ends up choosing here.
I
That's the
believe
3 mon.
this is a
So yeah, this is
7
just 7 mon
mon.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly took it for ease of parsing the weight, because I think there were wider options, but I'm not confident.
There was a Shanpon weight you could have taken. I think it was either 1 mon, 8 mon, or 7 mon. I think those were the only choices.
Yeah, I don't blame him because I'm trash at Chinitsu. So in a high pressure situation, I can totally understand not wanting to Furuten yourself. Or misinterpret the weight rather. 3 players tenpai, and Jason will go on for another dealer repeat.
So honba 2 now.
4,000 points in the
Jason.
middle, which would benefit any player since this point spread is still rather close. All players within about 10,000 points from each other. Jason starting off with 2 Yakuhai pairs. Very quick looking hand, and immediately component the Hatsu.
Yeah, just trying to secure all those sticks in the middle here.
Definitely.
It's a really good hand to do it with.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much in a normal situation, just 2 Han, but without those points in the middle, it becomes the equivalent of a 6,900 point hand for the dealer. I believe that's Tenpai. Yep. Meanwhile, Andre has quite a good hand too. But immediately deals in. Unfortunate to Jason's very quick East Hatsu.
And does get those nice 6,900 points
Nice.
here.
Unfortunate for
3.
Andre, but the Rinshan Kaibros are not realistically within shooting range of the final table. I think We have a bit of technical difficulties where one of the cameras appears to be frozen, but we will continue commentating on the non-frozen camera. So from what we can see, Andre has some good shapes, diamond shapes, pairs. Starting off with 4 pairs. Actually just discarded his chance at 6, 7, 8 Senshoku. But still a good hand remaining. Kevin has a pair of the West, which is a guest win for him. And a lot of disconnected tiles. So he might just kind of wait and see, maybe build towards a Honitsu in whatever suit looks good to him. I think Andre is hard committing to a Chitoi. Maybe seeing that it's his easiest route to value, as it's if you draw a pair of Dora, then a Chitoi can easily become Richi Chitoi Dora to Urochu, shortcut to Hanuman. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
nice
gonna
hand.
try.
The video feed just got a little lagged on our end, but it was fine on stream, and looks like we're back now.
Yes,
So we can see Chris's and
quality
Jason's
is
hand here.
Yeah. Oh, Chris's hand is very strong. In a perfect Ishanten for potential Richi, Dora, Pimpu, Tanya. And with a few shifts, you could even get Sanshoku if he draws the 2-man for a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. Jason's hand has a floating Dora and 4 pairs. So a little bit awkward, but plenty of options. Jason deciding whether or not to keep pursuing Hitori and breaks up a pair.
Oh, Chris draws the 5-pin here, and we do see a Richi waiting on that 1/4 so with Enpin, Dora, and 3 honba as well.
Yeah. Rishi, Pin, Dora, potential Tanyao, and lots of points on the table. Will he draw it? Nope, not the unfortunately draws Dora on the Ipatsu turn rather than his winning tile. Andre decides to discard the Dora as it is safe. Jason contemplating whether he wants to push.
It does end up just breaking the 9-pin pair here. Probably, at this point, you have enough points that you can safely just try to defend here. Your goal is just 2nd place, and from 33,000 points, you set yourself up pretty nicely for that.
But with big honba, large swings are certainly possible. But yes, I think that he can afford to play a bit defensive right now. Kevin's hand is just continuing to hoard honor tiles, although now he accepts a 5-man, so perhaps the buck stops here for Kevin, and he's going to fold out with his numerous safe tiles. Oh, but he draws a Haku pair. Very interesting. Discard the south. Andre is a 5-pin honky. Dama for his Chitoi. Possibly, oh wait, sorry. I'm dumb. Andre recheated and I just missed it many turns ago. So he has and then Chris Sumo's the higher out for Richu Pinfu Dora, Mentam Pin Dora. So
And with Sumo, that is enough for a Mongon here, and some extra 1,500 from honba as well.
yeah, it's a large hand. 12,000 points. 12,500 points. Maybe 13,500 when you add in the Richu stick. So very big hand for Chris. But again, he does need a 200-point swing.
Yeah, so gonna
Positive
need a
200.
pretty ridiculous dealer run if that's gonna happen here.
Yeah, he would need to go, I think, it's gonna be tough. I think we'd need to see like a ridiculous score. Well over 100,000 points. So Jason is now like a little bit uncomfortably close to third place. So we'll see if that affects how he plays at all. Maybe, you know, winning some like cheaper or medium-sized hands wouldn't be so bad if it moves the game along, and maybe it doesn't get you closer to first, but it advances your team's position in the standings.
Yeah, at this point, Jason just wants to sort of pass the rounds. If he can just make it, try to get to South 4 here.
Yeah, looking at the table, Jason has material for calling an Itsu or for a 789 Sanshoku, although both would require a different pair, and he decides to break up the 7-9 Pinzu shape, so rejecting Sanshoku chance. Chris has 4 pairs and a floating red 5-mon. So his hand could really, you know, it's hovering between a regular hand and something like Chitoi right now. Andre has an Anko of the 4-mon and a pair of the Chun now. So kind of a like pair and triplet heavy hand at the moment. Jason keeps drawing more soju and might be thinking about a flush here.
Yeah, it does at least start by breaking that 2-3 pin Ramen. So it does seem to be thinking about it.
Although it could be difficult without any honor tiles, but you know, he might just keep drawing soju. That would work too. Andre pawns the tune. Maybe just looking to end the suffering.
But also, like, maybe get a toy if you do end up like pairing up one of those 7-mon or 2-3. So
that's fair. It could convert into toy.
Oh, Khan, here we go.
Very good, very good. That's the right move when your
We saw
team
new Dora.
would,
That does give Andre 1 Dora now.
yeah. It's the right move when your team would when you would benefit from that volatility. As he is deep in 4th place right now. Decides not to chew for Tenpai, hoping to make the hand more expensive.
Yeah, I guess maybe he is thinking about that toy is the only reason I could think to maybe pass that.
And yes, breaking up the 2-3 cell shape means that he's hard committing to a toy.
Yeah, could have just really wanted to keep that 7-mon around, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred throwing the 7-mon, although I can understand down. Maybe he's hoping to draw a 9-mon.
Although that, I mean, if you were gonna accept a other, that could have been the Tsumo, but I guess that's not what he was interested in.
It's possible he was afraid of 310 and he only wants to accept more expensive hands. But now he's in kind of a tough spot with, you know, not much safety in his hand. Would he con to break Ipotsu? Oh no, that was a 1-mon, sorry. Wow, okay. 3 Sotanki for Andre right now. The Richi is on a 1-pin 2-mon wait. The
It is
2-mon is
Richi door 2.
actually almost completely blocked off due to all the 1-4-mon we can see in Andre's hand. So it could be pretty good in the wall.
This 1-pin is also Suji trapped from that 4-pin discard earlier, so I have to watch out if Kevin ends up discarding that at some point. Does seem to have plenty of Genbutsu though. Does at least have like 3 so, I see. Oh, that 3 so is Doro, so you might be scared of that against Andre.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's the 1-pin
but
Sumo.
Chris just draws it himself. Another, yeah, dealer Sumo for Chris. And one more Rinshan tonight for Chris. Ooh, hits an Ura too.
Yeah, Ura 1, not enough for Hanuman, but still dealer manga on here.
Yeah, keep them coming, Chris.
Wait, was 9-mon Dora? Wait, what was Dora? I can't remember now. No, it was not 9-mon.
Wait a
Was it
minute.
9-mon?
What?
Wait, I forget the Dora. Was that Dora 3 or Dora 6?
That was definitely door 6.
Okay. Well, there you go. So it
Oh my
was enough
god.
for Honeyman. Or is
The
that
commentators
Richi
are asleep at the
Tsumo Door
wheel.
6 Baimon? All right, sorry, we missed
Yeah.
it. I missed
Oh
the Door
my
3.
god.
Okay.
Wow, we were like, it's just a manga. It's chill.
Yeah, sorry, we missed the Door Onko.
Casual door echo. Okay, yes. I somehow forgot the original Dora because there was so much excitement around the 3-star new Dora. Now Chris is sitting pretty at over 60,000 points. Yeah, I mean, if he keeps winning hands like that, then anything is possible.
Andre have a nice starting hand here. Could try to go for a Honitsu, possibly. Does have like 2 honor pairs here. Although does now have a Sozu Ryomen.
Kevin has a pair of the Dora and could certainly go for, Honitsu, Toy Toy. Yeah, and seems to be heading that way with dropping the Sozu from his hand. Andre draws a red 5 and might not be aiming for Honitsu now that he has that. Kevin drew a good tile with the 2-pin, filling in the 1-3 shape. Now has a choice of pawning, but it doesn't, or cheating, but it doesn't really help him.
Yeah, not the best call here because you already are kind of just waiting on 2-pin with that shape.
Yeah. His flush is continuing to advance. Chris draws a pair.
Andre, no call here.
Yeah.
So not gonna open up for like a Honitsu or anything. At least not quite yet.
I don't think his hand looks like Honitsu at this point.
Yeah, especially once a door, I suppose you do want to keep that ramming around.
Ooh, Kevin's definitely gonna want that 6-pin.
So now into
And
Ishan
gives up
10.
on his Shosangen material um, for a pretty nice Honitsu Ishanten.
Yeah, this could be Honitsu Toi Toi Dora Dora Dora, possibly, if you get the perfect. Oh, wait. Oh, that's 9 so not 9 pin. I got excited.
Wrong suit, wrong suit. We gotta manifest it though. Yeah, even if he doesn't get the third Dora, it would still be Toi Toi Honitsu Dora Dora for uh, Hanuman, but he decides to call into Tenpai, and it's now, I believe, yeah, Honitsu Dora Dora Mangan. The Hatsu and 9-pin. I don't think we see any of the Hatsu right now, so they're both in the wall. The 9-pin looking pretty isolated since there's 3 8. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, I thought that the Kevin's first call had an 8-pin in it. But we see 3 of the 8 pins, so the 9-pin is pretty isolated. Although the one of them is the Dora indicator, so there's only one left. I don't know what Kevin just drew. Ah,
1
I
pin
think he.
Dora. Oh, breaks Tenpai.
Oh, he wants more. He wants Hanuman, Honitsu, Hatsu, Dora-san. Wow, breaking Tenpai for the potential Hanuman.
Could have broken Tenpai with the Hatsu and then gone Shinitsu if you're going to break Tenpai.
I agree. But I think either one would be difficult. In fact, I think that the Hatsu looks more live, but you don't know if you're Kevin whether that's because someone else has a pair of them in hand because of Jason. Sorry, I totally missed that Jason has a Hatsu. The Hatsu is not in the wall. Um, or
Yeah,
if
actually looks like they opened for just like Hatsu
yeah,
Odazuke, I think. So that hand's
they're
pretty
Mochi
good.
Mochi on the Hatsu. Yeah, I think dropping the Hatsu and going for Chinitsu would be more flexible because um, you could shift around the shapes a bit more.
Right.
Jason's still not Tenpai because of that Hatsu deadlock. Looking around the table, actually nobody is in Tenpai right now. Everybody's definitely feeling the tension now. Oh,
Oh,
and
there was the
there's the
9 pin.
9-pin.
Maybe it doesn't come out if you don't discard it though first. Who knows? But either way, that was the what could have maybe been the winning weight.
Still not Tenpai for Kevin. It's rough. It's rough. I think that breaking Mangan Tenpai for potential Hanuman is like
It's
a
pretty greedy.
it's pretty it's a rough path to take. Oh yeah, that I don't think Andre's gonna drop that one. He's been like protecting that 4-pin.
Okay, finally does get back into Tempai. You have to throw Dora of it. I mean, you can't. Surely you have to take Tempai at this point.
Surely you have to take 10-pin. Oh my
No,
goodness.
absolute
The
refusal to throw the Dora.
greed. Wow. I'm kind of in shock.
Yeah, that is extremely surprising.
Is there a 5-pin left? Oh, doesn't matter.
So in the end, it's
Chris.
just Chris there who got Tempai at the end.
Yeah. I think actually Chris won on that 2-man right there for a
Oh, it was
Pinfu Tanya Pinfu.
got it. I didn't see the Tempai there right at the end.
Take your Mangan Tenpai, kids. All right, honba 2 for Chris. He's been having quite a few dealer repeats, able to keep that strong momentum going. I think he has a pair of Yakuhai right here. Yep, the red dragon pair, and a Dora already in hand. Pretty nice. Andre draws a pair of the Hatsu, although he is probably searching for more value. Jason is still in danger of 3rd place, and it would be quite a bad, or like it would be more negative of a 3rd than he can afford if the game were to end right here. Obviously, it is only step 2, but Jason is going to want to put more of a gap between him and Kevin. It's not that he's in direct danger from Kevin because you know, Kevin would have to manage to close a 64-point gap between him and Jason. But rather that if Jason takes too large or too negative of a 3rd here, they will drop below the Falcons and lose their spot at the final table.
Yeah, so still a very close game here. At first place is looking pretty locked up, but this battle for 2nd is very important for the overall standings.
Andre's hand is advancing quite well towards a normal looking hand, but again, like the Rinshan Kaibros can kind of play how they want here.
Yeah, we'll see what Andre wants to do. If they want to just like call the possible Hatsu that might come out and just keep the game moving along, or if they want to try to build some more expensive Riichi. They do still have a dealer, and it is honba 2, so you do at least get 3,000 points on top of whatever you win.
Yeah, as well as the Dora acceptance. Now we have 5 pairs. You've reached a decision point whether you will keep going for a normal hand or go for a 7 pairs. The size for 7 pairs. Kevin Tenpai waiting on the I think that is the 6-9 Mon.
Yeah, 6-9 Mon.
With a potential Ipeco on the 6-9. Oh,
Ipatsumo,
wow.
there it is.
Ichi Ipatsumo Ipeco. Ura? Oh, Ura.
Menpin Ipatsumo, Ipeco, Dora. But it's Hanuman.
No, I think it's just 1 Dora.
Oh, right. Just Dora 1.
Yeah, so it's just Mangan. But you know, with all those points in the middle, it basically becomes a Hanuman in value.
Menpin Ipatsumo. Yeah, it's 5. Okay. Yeah, see, yeah, also counting Kevin as well.
Now the deal moves to Andre. Yeah, I feel like Andre's been playing. You know, he's not been like trying for Yakumen every hand. Like he's been playing rather level-headed. It is his dealer turn though, so we'll see if he tries to make any big moves here. But you know, I think that like playing a solid game no matter what, when your team doesn't have that realistic a shot, is a good choice.
But this is a really bad situation now for the Penguins and Jason, because now has only 2 hands left to manage to claw back into second place. At this point, they're pretty far behind. If they don't get second, they would need, if they wanna try to survive in a third, they need, I believe it's right around 23,000 points. They need.
I actually think they would need 28,000 points because remember that there's Oka, so
Right. So it's minus
yes.
15, so they can take a minus 3.
Yeah,
So they need
that's right.
22,000, right?
Yeah. Sorry, yes, that's right. Yeah, 23,000.
And they have a really nice
So
hand to try to come back here with the Dora Onko.
yeah, we'll
Could
see.
maybe be Toy Toy as well. Missing 1 pair for that. Or you could also open for Tanyao and drop the 9-mon pair alternatively. Has a couple options to try to go forward with this hand.
For sure. We'll also
Didn't
see
call the
how.
2-pin. So didn't want to try to open the hand at least yet.
Oh, yeah.
And is now Ishan 10.
Chris is Ishan 10 as well, with a floating Dora that he's still hanging on to. So yeah, another instance of you know, he discarded the 2-mon for the 2/3/3, sacrificing efficiency in order to keep the Dora.
Well, you can discard 7-pin here if you're Jason and just sort of accidentally keep Chito Ishan 10. But nope, just gonna just throw the 4-mon back.
I think the 7-pin is not very helpful here because we have so many pairs already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ability to just get Tempai in 5-mon, 6-mon is pretty strong. Although you would have to drop a door if you want to take Chitoi Tempai.
Okay. I think he's realizing that the 7-pin is not super helpful and taking on a safe tile in the Haku. And a reach from Andre waiting on a 6-pin for Richie Pinfu.
Possible
Possible
door if
Dora.
you win on 6-pin, yeah.
Yeah. Although the 6-pin is currently completely held.
Looks like Kevin just gonna fold here, breaking that West Onko. Jason really has to fight with this hand, though. I don't think he can afford to fold this. Oh, the 6-pin door comes out. So Ipatsu dealing on that Takame. Menpin Ipatsumo Doro. So that is 12,000.
Yeah.
That's a painful deal in there.
I think maybe Chris decided to take the Tenpai. You know, he does have a significant cushion, as he was at 60,000 points. But yeah, that is quite painful. Can't feel good. That is one of the dangers of holding on to Dora. Like there is a chance that you'll use it, but there's a chance that either, you someone else declares retreat and you just can't drop it ever, or that you might deal in with it if you do decide to push forward. Now, Andre gets a daily repeat. He has an Onko of the 6 mon. The East is the Dora, which is his Yakuhai, but Kevin already discarded one of them to try to kill it off early.
Chris with a pretty nice hand, already 2 Shanten there. Although it is hard to get value here when the door is the East.
Kevin with 4 pairs so far. Kevin is now actually should be feeling invigorated because Chris is within a lot closer striking distance than before. And if Kevin can take a healthy first, then his team can move into 4th overall.
And they do, of course, still have that last dealership as well, so definitely comeback is possible here.
Absolutely. Jason might be thinking about Honitsu, although it still needs a few more draws in the Soju to make it happen. But dropping that 2-4 pin Kanchan for now as sort of wait and see move. Andre drawn another Onko. Or not another, an Onko, and is in a good Ushanten, possible San Onko with the right draw. Ooh. Kevin just drew
Trying to figure
a
out what to
5
do with
so
that. Yeah, it doesn't really fit in the hand. So.
yeah, but it backfires because of the or like he can't really keep it easily because of the 4 so he just drew. Chris's 4, 6, 7. The 4 is a bit superfluous. But he might just be waiting to discard it next round. Or next go around rather. Let's see if he doesn't decide to take the safe tile. Doesn't really help Andre with the way his shapes currently are. It's one of those tiles that seems useful, but actually isn't. And I think that actually sets him back a step to
It
discard
keeps
the
the same Shanten, but I think I preferred the 8-mon discard anyways. Because it's hard to get like the Monzu Ipeko now.
Yeah, and like you don't have a pair if you try to use Manju Ipeko, as well as giving up the Sun on coach chance from before.
Do have Ricci from Chris here. Who did get
Yep,
Senpai and 5-8-mon.
the 4 and 9 mon in his discards, either Young can make the 5-8 mon look super dangerous. Yeah, for Chris, it's a Ricci Pinfu. And Andre chases on the 3-6 pin. So 5-8 on. I think the fives are all held between Kevin and Andre. And the eights, I see one, two. I think I see two of them. So there's 2 8-mon left in the wall for Chris to draw. As far as the 3-6 pin, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there might be 3 in the wall, which is pretty good for this late in the hand. So Andre has one more tile on the wall than Chris does at the moment. Whew. Dramatic
Safe.
discard of the red 5 from Andre. And there it is. Andre's win. It is NOMI, I believe.
Does at least have the honba on top of it, though. It does get to continue their dealership here.
And I think, Kevin would be happy that Chris got hit down a little bit more, bringing him ever slightly closer.
Yeah, that lead continuing to shrink a little bit here. Those back-to-back deal-ins to the Andres Ricci.
Fun fact, the Falcons have 2 of their members in the room right now helping run this stream. And I'm sure they're on the edge of their seat with this front row view of the action, deciding their team's fate. So Andre, second dealer repeat. He has, some good complete shapes. Rinshan in the 4-6-8 pin right there. Yeah, very strong position for the hand right now. Kevin has some completed shapes and pairs from Yakumen. Not bad. Jason has a Dora, and it's looking like a pretty obvious direction for the hand is Honitsu. And then Chris with a pretty normal looking hand, Yakumen that can accept tiles.
Yeah, Jason, I believe, had the chance to call the tune, but decided to let it pass. It's gonna see what they can do with a closed hand here for now.
Oh, I think I misread the door. I thought it was the 9-so, but the door indicator is actually a 5-so. So the door is in 6-so, which Kevin has 1 floating in his hand right now, and nobody else has, but everyone can accept.
It does find the 8-so to connect up to that door for Kevin at least. Now has a way to use that in the hand a bit easier.
Jason draws into an Ipeiko and is Ishanten from potential Menhon Ipeiko.
Also Menhon Chito Ishanten at the same time.
Yes, that as well. Andre shifts his hand around to accept Dora. Interesting move from
Picks
Kevin
up a
here.
6-so here.
Oh, I mean, he can.
Still not Tempai yet.
Yeah, he could even move towards Chinitsu.
You could, yeah, just end up dropping the tune pair.
I think it would be faster to open and just discard a 9-so for Honitsu Dora 1.
Although if you're trying to claw back. Well, we'll see. It's yeah, because 22 Dora 1. Maybe you want more points than that at this point. It's hard to say. Like Hanemon would be nice if you can get there.
But I think that not winning a Mangon would be pretty bad for Jason.
Oh, if you get it closed, yeah. I was thinking like
Chris is now Tenpai, can choose between Shampon and Kanchan or Dama. Decides to take the Shampon and retreat Nomi.
oh no, that's the dealing tile for Jason. That is
I
a
think.
really unfortunate draw.
Oh no, will he fold?
It just doesn't fit into this hand at all, and it's a pretty good Ishan 10.
It's a pretty good hand. Oh, Mawashi.
Yeah. At least dodges
He
Ipatsu here.
can, yeah, he can Mawashi around into Chitoy. But yeah, it must feel bad to give up your really nice Honitsu Ishantin. Oh, now there's a Suji trap set with that 6-mon discard from Chris. Oh,
Uh-oh.
and the tune
Chun?
comes
Are you gonna
out.
get
I
tempted?
think
No,
Jason.
passes the
Oh,
Chun.
wow. I really thought he was gonna take it. I think I might have jumped at that, but
Yeah.
I would
I
have
feel
dealt
like
in.
it's tough to not fight with this hand with where you're at. You need a lot of points with only 2 hands to go.
Kevin contemplating what to discard. Decides on 8-so, which is not CG, but unlikely with the 6-7 in the discards.
Okay, well Jason does draw the 5-mon now, so
yeah,
can now get maybe get a Tempai without having
he
to
is
drop that
one
3-mon.
away. It's a little difficult now that the tune is dead. I think he might want to discard the tune or, take a 4-so tune weight with one side dead. I mean, both sides are dead because we can see 2 4-so in Chris's hand, but Jason doesn't know that. Andre calling for K10. Jason picking up a Hatsu and hesitating here as he can't see any. Very odd. It's completely in the wall. Is that right? Oh my goodness. The first Hatsu
It
comes
does
out.
seem like it. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh,
Oh,
there's another one.
Chitoi
Chitoi
Tenpai if
Tempai.
he can
This
bear
is gonna be this has got
to.
to be 3-mon dealing, right? Like it's just Dora Tonki for Menhon Chitoi. I don't know
I
how that you
know,
don't deal in
and it's
here.
Gembutsu. Oh yeah,
Yeah, there it
it's
is.
the deal in. Very, very understandable. Yeah. Oh, the game tempted Jason. All right, Richinomi at least, so not too big of a hand, but it must feel bad since for the Penguins, every point counts right now in this situation.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. All lasts.
I would have done the same because 6-0 is Genbutsu to the dealer. And a 3-mon was Suji as well.
Jason needs a Hanuman here if he wants to stay in the top 4. And Kevin needs to win some hands here, manage to get a first place.
Not only in first place, but I believe, well,
It needs
with
to be
Jason
plus.
down in 4th right now,
They
I
need.
think that, let me do some math.
It should be fine. They just need to be 63 up over Penguins, which I think as long as the Penguins remain in 3rd, it should be enough for Team Yakumen. So Jason, maybe you can try to go for like a Chinitsu here. It does have the Pinzu Dora, the 3-pin. So like a Chinitsu Dora 1 Hanuman could be enough for the Penguins.
Mm-hmm. Yes, any first place would be enough. With if the game, if Jason's score does not move at all, and Kevin moves into first place.
Okay, more Pinzu draws here for Jason.
I mean, that's one way to do it. One way to get into Hanuman. Honitsu, or yeah, throw a couple door in there. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's useful for like if you stay closed. Because you can't really call Chun though. But you are Ishan 10 for Menhon, which is another way to do it. You go like
Right.
Menhon,
Richi,
Ricci,
Menhon,
Sumo,
that hand
Chun.
accepts door very easily. So
You really don't want to call
Menhon,
Chun though.
yes, Menhon, Dora, uh, Timo, and then something else. You have to discard that.
Yeah, that does nothing for this hand. Maybe just thinking like trying to make it less obvious your Pinzu. Well, Chris is gonna go ahead and call this and try to just end this game with a Tanyo here.
Tanya can end it all.
Is Ishan 10 for that? Kevin going for Menhon of their own possibly here and Monzu.
Doesn't quite have the firepower of Pinzu, which is Shadora suit. Oh, I think he wants to throw that back. But yeah, Kevin has Menhon Ipeiko potentially, even Itsu as well. So even though it's not Todora's suit, there is potential for a very large hand there. But he opens. So losing the Ipeiko.
This could be either Itsu or Hatsu though.
Yes. And since Kevin is a dealer, I think that just continuing to run it up will be good. Yes. For a second, I thought Chanto was possible, but not quite, unless things shift around significantly. Andre has a potential Junchan.
Kevin had the chance to switch weight to 4-mon Hatsu, but it's just gonna stick with the confirmed E2 here in 5-mon.
I think I would have liked to see the form on Hatsu. Because right now it's Baka Hon, right?
Well, it's E2 on 5-mon.
Oh, Yes, you're right. So the guaranteed one Han better than the
Also, if you
Yuki.
think that Jason might also be Honi too, maybe you don't believe that Hatsu's a good weight.
Another chance to change the weight. But if you discard the Foreman, then by that logic, you should discard the 6
Well,
man
this
too.
is a 3-sided weight because now this is Hatsu 961.
Oh, 6-9 Hachi. Yes. Now he has here to fact check me. I think Andre takes a headless Ichonten here. With the one so draw, it would be Junshan Sanshoku. And there's the deal in from Jason. Kevin gets Honitsu Hatu.
So nice start to the comeback here.
Kevin is happy
Positions
about this.
Team Yakumen closer.
Could he even make it happen with a big second place if he keeps hitting Jason down?
They were down by 45.8 from the Falcons, so they would need plus. Yeah, no, it needs to be first place. Because like you would need to be like a plus 42nd, which
Yeah,
only plus
that's
5 is kind of at that point you just get
yeah.
first.
So that's basically it. It's probably going to end up being a first. Very doable. Now Kevin is within 10,000 points of first place. So with the honba, Kevin does kind of need to keep running it up because with Agariyame off, you have to keep winning until someone else wins or you yourself are not in tenpai. So he can't just reach first place and decide the game is over like you could in like happens for you in ladder.
Right. You have to take first place and then somehow hope the game ends with you keeping that first place. So someone else has to win a hand but not overtake you. And for Jason and Team Penguin, this is looking quite dire at this point because you basically need almost just like a Yakuman. You need what? You need plus. It's like is Paimon enough? I think you need because you need 22. So yeah, even Baimon's not enough at this point. Or with honba, maybe it is.
I don't think
13.5.
so.
No,
I
it's
don't.
not enough. Or yeah, wait. Baimon would be
Oh
17.5.
wait. Paimon would be
Yeah, Baimon's enough
17.5.
with the honba.
Yeah. Yeah. With the honba. But Paimon is a pretty tall order.
It is.
Even something like Hanuman is a lot easier to achieve. Yeah, and unfortunately, Kevin being dealer means that you can't even. It doesn't make you that happy to see dealer repeat and give you more chances at your comeback. Kevin's hand is T-Shanten, I believe. Yeah. With a couple extra shapes in it right now. Or sorry, 6 shapes in it right now. Chris is Ishanten. Jason is shifting around towards what looks like 789 Sanshoku. could get there with a couple of good draws.
Maybe like open reach Ipatsumo or something. It's like a fair bit of value.
Yeah,
He
Kevin's
gets
hand is a little awkward. Many hanchan and penchan shapes. I think
probably Jason's deciding between like Sanshoku and Itsu, just trying to figure out how to get value here.
yeah, I think dropping the 3-mon would thread the needle, but set you back the Shantan.
Okay, goes for 3-mon. It doesn't really set you back a Shanten for a hand you want though, because you kind of want one of those, either Sanshoku
Yeah,
or Itsu.
yeah, I think Jason, is well aware that he needs the value and can't take a Nomi here. So in terms of, it doesn't really set you back for like hands that you can realistically take. Oh, and now
All right.
the
Finds a 7-pin.
yeah, and possible Junchan as well. So
Yeah,
very nice.
Junchan Sanshoku. There's 5 Han. And then open reach Timo. That would get there.
Yeah, that would. So I think he's preemptively Sakigiri to 5-mon, keeping the Chun as a safe tile. I like the way he's thinking. Heaven's still hand is still looking a little awkward. Oh, decides on the Ryankan that's Fuitan on the 4-pin. I don't really know where Kevin's hand is going. Andre's been Tenpai before. I mean, he's still Tenpai.
Okay, Kevin does fill in that Kanchan there.
Oh, wow. But that Penchan is still plaguing him, the 8-9-mon. I think Andre is just going to keep Dama. What did Jason just draw? Is it like an 8
He's
cell or
thinking
something?
about it. I don't think 8-so does like anything, because that's just like reaching Nomi.
Yeah, like I can't think what he's drawn that makes him hesitate so much.
Oh, it's just a tune.
Oh.
Wait, it was a 9-so.
No, he drew a 9-so. He drew a 9-so.
Oh.
It doesn't help.
Well, no, I guess if you draw 9-mon, you have Riichi Junchan. You'd lose Sanshoku, but you could get like Ipot's Uro.
I
Or
definitely
Uro 2.
think the Junshan Sanshoku is like.
Oh, no. Oh, no, what is that? Oh.
No.
That's not what we wanted.
Oh no. Watch it be 7-so. Oh.
This is. I guess we still have Junchan or maybe Chanta. No, you don't even have Junchan. You
You
just
don't
have
have
Chanta.
Junchan. You don't have Junchan.
It's just Chanta now.
It's really done too. Like, what is happening?
Oh man, I don't understand that con.
Chris's Ishanten has been for a while. Andre continuing to be Dama Tenpai. I wonder if he would ever reach.
Oh, open reach.
He is now. Because of the con. His 3-pin has been revealed. He could get open reach Dora. potentially another Doya, and obviously Sumo. So open Doya Doya, Sumo,
Pinfu as well.
Pinfu. If he gets another, if he Sumos the 6-mon, for example, and gets an Ura, it would be Baimon.
Showing the camera. No, we bought someone. Oh, Kevin needs Tempai here. He's running out of
This
draws
is
to get
the
it.
high K, and
Yeah. So that just ends the game because Kevin is unable to get Tempai here.
yeah.
And so a bit of
Kevin
an
had a rough
anticlimactic
time.
end there, but that's it'll end on just an exhaustive draw with Kevin no 10.
So that means that I believe the Falcons,
Yeah, they snuck through.
the winner of tonight, is not actually at the table.
Everyone loses.
I don't know if you've watched the anime Love is War, but the way you just said that reminds me of the way all the bits end, where they're like, today's result, everybody loses.
Yeah, all 4 players at this table will not make it to the finals.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight on this very eventful and impactful penultimate stream for the regular season of End League. Yeah, this was Amy, and
Yeah, Navitas joining you. Thanks for letting me join on here all the way from South Carolina, hijacking your New York tournament.
not at all. This was a pleasure. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week for the final game before we move on to the final tables. So have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night.